scholars refuse to accept that. I don't want to mention any scholar. If you go back to OC of Adib, you see that they have the Sharia committee of the bank, but the Sukuk is endorsed by the working committee of the Sharia committee, which is the smaller numbers of the Sharia committee. People don't realize on that actually because of the use of the term here and there. Yes, please.
Okay. Asking because someone else wants to get up, right? If I have cash, which represents say 40% of my total assets, and all of this cash I invest in a conventional banking account, I'm in breach. I'm not Sharia compliant. Yes? Even if I invest in a current account that doesn't pay me a single interest, I'm still in breach.
Yes.
That's nonsensical, right? Because I'm just parking it, maybe for the sake of convenience, maybe it's a relationship bank, there's no interest income generated. But simply by me of parking more than 33%, I'm not Sharia compliant.
Our intention is mainly to ensure that you put your money into Islamic. Remember that the purpose, the main purpose. So if you put into the conventional, it does not go to Islamic anyway. The difference that we adopt from Malaysia and overseas, say for example you have your private equity fund in US for example, alright? Most every time when we have private equity fund, we have account in US, we ensure that the money that we put into the bank account, because we don't have Islamic at all. Therefore, we put into conventional and we make a condition that that conventional shall not give any interest. Alright. Why? Because we don't have any options. The purpose that we put here is that in Malaysia, you have no reason not to put your money into Islamic. Why? Because if say for example, if I may name some bank for example, you have account with IIUM for example, or with Maybank for example, with Hong Leong for example, with RHB for example, right? In conventional. If you want to comply, you don't have to go to other banks. You can still remain in the bank, but in Islamic. So, from that point of view, it's still within the group of RHB, IIUM or Maybank. The purpose is to ensure that when you do Islamic, you also have to flourish the Islamic finance in the country. That is the reason why we put that in that situation. So there are certain other aspects that we want to do when we put this particular condition. Yes, from your point of view, this give no return, this give no return. But this money remain with conventional, this money park with Islamic. So that will help Islamic finance to go.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hasan. It's just an observation based on the change in the screening methodology. I like to refer to this particular quotation: "If you don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it." The way you have has been changed from a certain methodology of 33% now become 5% and 20%. As you have mentioned earlier that there are companies who are Sharia compliant and yet some of the practices are not. And you were saying that there will be in the distant future that many so-called compliance company will be dropped off. My suggestion, this is just off the cut, probably don't just simply cut them off from being Sharia compliant. What should be done was not to have a new benchmark. Retain whichever is being done. Just educate them. Things that should be done if you are a Sharia compliance company. Because the repercussion, we are not sure yet. Because this is something new and it may affect the credibility of the whole financial system as a whole, because you keep on changing and others will be wondering, are you sure this is the right thing to do, or is it an improvement to the system that has been done for past decades? Thank you very much.
To be implemented November 2030. So it's not just I put the regulation tomorrow I implement. No, it's 1.5 years window for them to comply. we put two things. The first one, we give them time period, which is 1.5 years, and also we educate them. We send letter and also Bursa call all the company for them, how for them to remain compliant within Sharia compliant. In terms of changing, actually, it's not something that changing every day. I think this screening has been in the market for how many years? 97, right? So more than nearly 16 years for that matter, right? So I think we have to move further. In Islamic finance, the approach that we take in Malaysia, as I said, is that we start with somewhere and we improve from time to time. That is the approach that has been taken in Malaysia. I mean, it's just about ijtihad. If you go for 5, 10, 20, 25, it's one ijtihad. Now we believe that that ijtihad is also valid. Nevertheless, we believe this ijtihad is much better, not only for the company but for the industry as a whole. That's why we put in that manner. I mean, not that we change because of we believe that the previous one was wrong, this one is right. No. But we believe that moving forward, this is a way for us to help for the growth of Islamic finance. And at the same time, ensuring also that company is not only compliant in terms of the product that they produce, but also in terms of the financial aspect that they have. I think if you follow what we have internationally, we are talking about what we call halality, global halality, we call it. Where the halalness, if I use the word correctly, is not only on the product that you produce, but also how you incorporate your company, how you finance the expansion of your company, how you raise fund to produce a product. Now people even talking in South Africa, I was there last 3 months in halal conference, they were talking about how to have Islamic practice in the company. Not just the product, not just financing, how you behave also has to be Islamically. Then only you are endorsed to be compliant. To some people, in Malaysia we don't go to that situation. But what we want to ensure is that your company, the company that you have, the product that you have is compliant, Sharia halal, certified by a relevant authority, and the way you finance your company, the way you raise fund is also within the Sharia compliant activities that not also make your company pure, quote unquote, but more than that also help to grow Islamic finance in the country as a whole.
On the listed stock, as in that you want to know as to whether the stock you are investing are basically Sharia compliant. So my question is, will there be any possibility in the sense that the companies who are planning to issue Sukuk, they must also comply with this sort of screening, as in like, you know, because more often than not, some companies, they are not really compliant in terms of the the funding, the deposits in place, but at the same time they still want to issue Sukuk. So in this case, are we moving towards that, or maybe time to come for that? Thank you.
Okay, they can't do some Sukuk issuance, fail for one reason or another lah, that different issue. Right, you got 2 or 3 cases where we have non-listed company want to do Sukuk but fail because of credit and blah 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 blah. Alright, in all circumstances we divide into 2 scenarios. If the company that want to issue Sukuk, they want to issue Sukuk musyarakah, okay, where the money will be injected into the business of the company, then the company has to follow this. Otherwise, they cannot issue Sukuk musyarakah. They cannot issue Sukuk mudarabah into their business. If the company want to issue other than Sukuk when wakalah for a certain extent, if they want to issue debt-based instrument or ijarah-based instrument where murabahah, what we call BBA, inah, tawarruk, or they want to issue istisna, whatever lah, yang all debt-based instrument or ijarah-based instrument, they have to ensure that the money that they raise shall only be used for Sharia compliant purposes. Okay, that are the 2 different. So to sum it, if you issue a Sukuk musyarakah where the investment into the business of the company, then that company has to follow this screening methodology. Otherwise, you are not compliant. If you issue other than that, debt-based instrument or ijarah-based instrument, okay, you have to ensure that the proceed that you get shall only be used for Sharia compliant purposes. So your company, for the time being, later on, I don't know, it may change. The company may not be compliant if the screening is to be applied on them. Yet, they can issue Sukuk murabahah, they can issue Sukuk whatever, provided that the proceed shall only be used for Sharia compliant purposes. For example, if say for example one bank, conventional bank, want to issue sukuk, okay, and they have identified certain Sharia compliant businesses that they want to grow. The company, is it following the screening methodology compliant or not? Not compliant. It is a bank. It's not compliant to the screening. So the company is non-compliant. Yet they issue debt-based instrument where the proceeds that they get from that issuance will be used to grow their Islamic business. Will that allow? It is allowed. So you don't have to worry, Goldman Sachs will not happen in Malaysia.
You're saying that the purpose of the proceed will be used for Sharia compliant purposes. And there are cases where the proceeds, one of existing financing, which is a conventional loan.
Alright, most of the time we have a bridging facility for bridging, and this bridging sometimes is a loan bridging. Alright, SC allowed for that. SAC of SC allow that. Okay, from international perspective and from some scholar perspective, some do not allow. They allow only for the repayment of the capital, not on the interest to be served. Right. But from SC perspective and from majority of the scholar perspective, since you want to get rid of conventional loan, otherwise that loan would not be finished, then you can use the money to pay all still. That is the SC position for the time, SAC of SC's position for the time being. Having said that, I know that some scholars don't allow for you to use the money to repay the conventional loan except for the principal portion only. To pay the interest, you have to source from other things to pay. That is the situation so far.
Okay, I think we are now 4:45. It's nice time for this talk. And then on behalf of IIBF, I would like to thank you, Dr. Aznan. Okay, let us show the appreciation to Dr. Aznan for his enlightening and updated, what we call it, information on Islamic capital market particularly. And then also thank you, we would like to record our thanks to all the participants who have attended the session today. I'm very happy because we have a full house today, Alhamdulillah. Okay, and then we end the session by reciting Surah Al-Asr and Tasbih Kifara, and an announcement, we prepare some refreshment for all the participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.